17 months of isolation on a simulated trip to Mars came to an end on November the 4th. Diego Urbina and Romain Charles, the two European members of the Mars500 crew, look back on the day they went back to Earth.
At first it was very intense in a way that I had a wall of people just in front of me, and after spending 1 year and a half with only 5 guys, it was, kind of, it's intense. But after that, it was only pleasure. I was seeing my family again after 1 year and a half. I was tasting some fresh food.
We opened the door, and it was really, really impressive for all of us. And for me, like people look really strange because we had only seen other 5 people during so long, and they look a little bit like statues, like robots, like aliens. And I still have a very strong impression of those moments, of all the lights and the smell, very strong smell, and just starting to talk to people, to other people. It was fantastic. I think it's the best day of my life.
After some time to catch up with family and friends, the Mars500 crew embarked on another round of physiological and psychological exercises to test the effects of prolonged isolation in their bodies and minds. The last, here in Bordeaux, added a new exciting factor: weightlessness.
Thanks to this aircraft that you see just behind me, an Airbus A300, we can obtain the microgravity with trajectories which are like parabolas, and that we perform about 30 times in a flight between 20,000 and 28,000 feet.
Go! Okay, stop.
Even if only for 20 seconds at a time, parabolic flights are the only way to recreate the weightless environment of space here on Earth.
During the parabolic flight, my blood pressure, my heart rate, and a lot of other parameters are measured. And so the idea is to see how the body reacts to weightlessness.
Results will then be analyzed and compared to the ones obtained inside Mars500, casting more light into the effects of long-term space missions on humans.
From the preliminary data, we see changes in the immune system, which are very interesting to us, and now we have to find out why and think about which effects would have, induced these changes that we measure in the immune system. It could have been either the microbes that have changed in the environment, or was it nutritional changes that were in effect during the different periods.
And while scientists continue unraveling the data, the crew has learned its own lessons.
The main result for me, and one I'm most proud of, is that we were a crew of 6 when we entered, and we're still together, working together at the end of this year and a half, and this was the main challenge.
I discovered a little bit that how connected humans are with each other, that we are not just single subjects living alone, but we are just a group, and we're less just a single entity, and you feel a lot of that because you miss talking to other people, and you give a lot of value to all these small connections that you have with the outside.
Testing the effects of isolation and communication difficulties in the crew were the main focus of Mars500. But many other outstanding difficulties remain to be solved in the way to Mars.
But there are, of course, a couple of other major things which we could not simulate. One being the weightlessness. The other one is the radiation environment. On ISS, we can, of course, study the weightlessness, but the full force of the radiation is not there because you're still inside a magnetic field around the Earth. But when you go to Mars, you will have much more radiation. So there are still problems to solve before we can go to Mars. Well, we will get there.
Step by step, mission after mission. And who knows what the future will bring? Maybe a 500-day Mars mission on the ISS?